not the same as it is here on earth. So we're living in our humanness, but know that the true power is in our infinite nature. And we are connected with our breath in the right now. So when you are ever finding there's stress from either the past or the present, we're going to lean into our breath. And with your breath, you get to take a moment, take stock, slow that breathing down. Notice what you notice. We'll go into the breath in more detail in another lesson. But this is the general scheme to get you started so you know where we're working towards. You don't get to not create. You don't get to not think. There's no way you can stop the thoughts in your mind. So if you think that meditation is the process of making your mind go blank, you will exhaust yourself trying to do that. Meditation is actually a very directed focus on something, whether it's a candle flame that's flickering, whether it is a thought process, whether it is the Vipassana style where you scan your body from head to toe, left to right, doing it simultaneously as you learn to lean into your focus. There's all sorts of ways to meditate, but you're not making your mind go blank. Not at all. We are created such. Humans are created for over 2 billion years. Our nervous system, the original piece of us, has been created to basically protect us from danger. So we're always aware. Is there something getting us? Is there fire? Is there wind? Is there rain? Is there an animal coming to get us? We learn through our senses, and we are aware through those senses. And we are created for that awareness. So when we look at our life that way, it's not uncommon that, well, as we are aware of more and more stress, I have more and more of those responses because, well, as when I was on call, the cell phone going off all the time for my pager, it jarred me. My phone now is always on vibrate. It's still a stressor. So it's still a challenge because for me, I have to be on, I have to be ready to go. There could be an emergency that really requires me to be instantly awake and ready to go. So we have that ability. And because we're always scanning around for that, historically, we're doing less of it now, but we have these little voices that come out and say, because the voices that are trying to keep you safe are really, really sneaky. So that when you're leaning into figuring out, oh, I've got this figured out, this is a challenge, I know what to do now, the voice changes and it becomes very specific to what you're thinking of. So it moves from, am I safe to, oh, you haven't done that before. You were fine before you learned to do that, before you even thought of doing that. We're good. We don't need to do anything different. Or a lot of common times we'll hear the words, I'm too old, I'm too young, I don't have enough knowledge, I don't have enough experience. There's all sorts of things. And then if onlys, if only I had good health, I could do this. If only I slept well, I could do that. If only I lost the weight, I would be more comfortable in my body. But our thoughts are predominant. You don't get to not think. Your mind is such a powerful machine. And only a fraction of this mind that you have focuses on what consciously is going on. So as I'm giving this presentation, I can see the background, my flip chart, I can see the picture, I can hear the noises going on in the street, I can see that the sun is not shining as bright, I can feel the coolness of the air. So your brain can take in every second a couple hundred to a couple thousand bits of information. It's quite a lot. Your subconscious, however, is taking in 30,000 times more pieces of information. And your conscious mind can sometimes realize something and then let it go. Your subconscious hangs on to this stuff for dear life because it's trying to keep you safe. And so it's really, really, really important that we're aware that our thought patterns are really important. And unfortunately, as well, when we're trying to stay safe, most of our thought patterns now, as we're trying to manage our conscious mind, we're doing this as adults once part of our brain is developed. Our brain doesn't fully form and develop to the best of its ability until we're 18 to 23. You have some capabilities with understanding and rationalizing and explaining things around 12 to 13 to 18. So when you think about it, under the age of 12 and under, and even younger, we react to our environment because that's all we know how to do. Other animals don't have that same ability as we do. They totally react and they can learn and change their habits, but it's a reactionary process. They don't just get to pick and choose like we do. We have dominion over our thoughts. We have control over what we can create. And when you lean into knowing that you have that control, And knowing that, yes, I have been hardwired to be safe and look out for the danger, be ever aware of that. Also know that 90% of our thoughts, give or take, depending on the studies you're looking at, will say that our thoughts are repetitive because we're always looking out for the same things. So we go into that same mode of repeat, 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 because we've been programmed that way for one set. We get programmed the same way for other things in our life. And lastly, but not least, 85% of our thoughts are negative. So if you have 85% of your thoughts are negative, you repeat them 90% of the time in trying to stay safe, is it no small wonder that sometimes we just can't get where we need to be to have what we want to have, to do what we need to do? It requires work. Saving grace, people. Although it requires work, it is straightforward and it can be described as simple. But is it easy? It depends on whether or not you can be consistent. So over the next 12 weeks, we're going to go over a variety of different tools and different tips that can help you get there. So one of them is going to be working with the mind. Part of this program is really important. Your thinking power is 99.9% of what will get you what you would love in your life. What you're doing is focusing your thought.